Good morning, guys, or good afternoon. No, it's good morning still. How are you doing? It's Stephen here on Friday the 13th of February. Friday the 13th. Oh, it's bad luck for some. Do you know what? My wife's just about to go driving, actually. I'm just going to text her to be careful, you know? Because I got to be careful here with these things anyway. Literally, I was just speaking to before I went live. There we go. There we go. Friday the 13th. It could be bad news for Arsenal. It could be bad news for Manchester City. We don't know. Just a little bit of a chat here about Manchester City and Arsenal. A bit of a cheeky chat, if I'm being honest. Not cheeky Briggenstein, just sort of opportunistic after Arsenal's result last night. And I wanted to ask a question that I don't have the answer to, of course, but I wanted to talk about anyway. Could Arsenal actually bottle the title? Could they slip up yet again? It could be 4 years in a row. Obviously, the first year, not too bad. It was against the Manchester City side that, was quality. It's very hard to keep up. And the second year, once again, the same rules apply, but still, they should have done better. Last year, absolutely, they bottled it 100% against a pretty average Liverpool side, in my honest opinion. And could they do it for 4 years in a row? Now, they might actually win the league this year. They might genuinely do it. But as I'm recording this, Arsenal have just... disappointingly for them, dropped some points away at Brentford. We did win away at Brentford, don't forget. We beat them last time round, and we deserved it as well. And it was quite tight, actually. Haaland early on, back in, it was October, I think it was, something like that. Either way, but we beat them just about, and we did, it was a tough game. Arsenal last night, of course, only managed a 1-1 draw away at Brentford, and if I'm being honest, from what I could tell, they didn't deserve it. They didn't deserve that draw. Brentford were the better side. And then look at the XG there, look at the big chances, look at the shots. Possession, of course, lent on Arsenal, but Arsenal were uninspired. And there's a few Arsenal fans that follow me as well, who are pretty reasonable and so on. And they replied to me as well, saying they were disappointed by the performance, and mainly they were disappointed as well by some of the big leaders of the team not really stepping up. Gabriel, and Odegaard, people like that, the leaders of the teams. Zubimendi, Declan Rice. Zubimendi, of course, is new, but you'd expect a little bit more from them, and they haven't done it for an awful long time now. I know Odegaard didn't start the game, but he came on obviously at half time. Saka came on for the last 25 minutes or so with injury time, of course, as well. Martinelli missed a decent chance towards the end. This is an Arsenal side that absolutely will feel the pressure if City keep applying it. Now, the thing is, we talk an awful lot about learned experience of winning these things, and it really isn't valuable. And that's, of course, what this Manchester City side have. You look at Arsenal, none of those guys, as far as I'm aware, have won the Premier League. They haven't. How many league winners are there of major leagues? I don't think you can count Jokeres and people like that. Largely, this is a side massively lacking winning experience. He's got a lot of quality there. Gabriel Jesus is the only guy who knows what it's like to win the Premier League in that squad, and he barely ever plays for them. And people could play that down if they want to, and a lot of people do, and they play down the importance of these things, but it matters absolutely. And I think Manchester City struggles this season in the second half of games have been down to a similar lack of experience. The difference between Manchester City and Arsenal, there's many differences, but the main positive difference, if you want to really dive into it, you could argue that this Manchester City side, has a lot more demonstrable experience when it comes to winning leagues. I know a lot of the quality is left. I know a lot of the legends have gone, but you look at that, Donnarumma, for one, has got more experience and more aura, for want of a better phrase, than their entire squad. I think that's probably fair to say. He's a serial winner. Ruben Diaz, Rodri, Bernardo Silva, Erling Haaland, Phil Foden. These guys are literal treble winners. Mateus Nunes has won a Premier League. And then you look as well... the quality of people like John Stones and Rico Lewis in the squad in terms of experience, Kovacic around the dressing room as well, Jeremy Doku's won the league before. There's an awful lot of league-winning experience, and obviously there's still players who have to step up to the standards, Semenyo, Reina, Nori in that team, Mateus Nunes, of course, is still new, Mark Gay. There's all the signs that Mark Gay is absolutely unflappable, which is really encouraging. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but every time I lose hope in this title race, and this is what gives me hope, every time I lose hope, Arsenal find a way to give it Man City back. And I really felt, I was a bit worried that, the Liverpool game would go to waste. I'm using SofaScore, by the way, Nicholas. It's called SofaScore. I don't know why it's called SofaScore. Maybe it's because we're sat on our sofas looking at the scores. Probably is exactly that. I'd ignore these numbers, by the way. I don't pay any attention to these numbers. It's just a decent little metric site, It's not my ratings. I just don't really tend to pay attention to it. But yeah, every time we look at the title race, we find a way to get back in there. Like, our form, of course, we've won 4 out of the last 5. Arsenal are dropping points right now. They are dropping points. They should be clearing Manchester City, or maybe we should be clearing them with the points that they've been dropping, because Arsenal aren't in great form. They're a very good side, of course. They drew against Brentford. They beat Sunderland and of course, Chelsea in the Carabao Cup before that. They did beat Leeds 4-0 away from home. They won against Kairat in the Champions League, but they lost to United, which was a big blow for them. They drew against Forest. Of course, they beat Chelsea once again in the other round, but Portsmouth as well. But they drew against Liverpool. They're not infallible here. Against teams that are well organised and well structured, they are dropping points. Against when they play good sides, of course they play Chelsea and so on. But against Aston Villa, they lost. Against Liverpool, they dropped points. And Liverpool haven't been that great, but they are structurally a good side. Forest, a dogged side. United, Brentford, the games that you'd think they'd drop points in, not all of them, they are actually dropping points. Now, that's not necessarily a rule, because you look at some of the games that they have won and whatever and so on. I'm sort of stretching a little bit to point out. But you start to look at the games that they've got coming up. You think, I can see some places where they could do. Now, I expect them to win comfortably away at Wolves. But Tottenham is a weird one, that. They should win comfortably, but it's a fucking weird one. Chelsea at home, I expect so. Brighton away. I know Brighton are in a weird place this season, not doing well, and Hurtsler apparently is a bit disappointed and might even leave. But you never know. And they are winnable games, these ones, Everton. But then you get to, the Carabao Cup final with us. You get to Bournemouth at home. Then you get away at us, and there's a run of games there. Away at us, then at home at Newcastle, where things could shift very, very quickly. And their actual running, unfortunately, is incredibly favourable. They've got West Ham away, Burnley at home, Crystal Palace away last day of the season. That's a difficult game. They haven't actually got many massive games left, really. Newcastle, you'd expect them to win a lot of those games. So we're going to have to be incredibly, incredibly on it as a City side. I still feel Arsenal are favourites, but I would expect, looking at Arsenal's current form and extrapolating across the season, I expect Arsenal to win most of the games, but that doesn't really allow for nerves and jitters that might develop depending on other results. If there's a random slip up here and there, I wouldn't be surprised if they did draw against someone like Everton. I mean, I'll look at our fixtures for you now. I'll get our fixtures up. Where's our fixtures? Here we go. City's match is coming up. So we've got in the Premier League left, we've got Newcastle at home. Look, I expect us to win that. Leeds away, I expect us to win that. Forest at home, same. West Ham away, we should win that. Newcastle at home is not guaranteed, of course, but at home, maybe. We've also got Palace at home to play still. We've got Chelsea away, which is not going to be easy, but depending on where Chelsea are at. Then we've got Arsenal at home, but Burnley away, Everton, Brentford at home, Bournemouth away, Villa at home last day of the season could be an absolute fucking shit show for us. Our games I think the games are a relatively similar level, actually, I would say. I think it's a reasonably similar running. And I think we should be reasonably confident as City fans that we've got a chance. Do I think it's going to happen? I'm still 50-50 on it. Not even 50-50, maybe slightly less than that. But I think there's a real question to be asked, because Arsenal should be running away from it. Given the January that Manchester City have, and I'll show you the January we've had. It was, you don't want to remind me, but I'm going to remind you anyway. It's been, where am I going? So I'll go back to the start of January in 2026. Obviously, we drew with Chelsea, Sunderland, Brighton. Then we beat Newcastle away, but then we lost to United. Bodo Glimt. I know that's not the same, but then we drew against Spurs. And in the league, we dropped points against Spurs. We lost against United. We had 3 draws. That's 2, 4, 6, 9. We dropped 12 points. Is that right? 2, 4, 12 points in January alone. That's like a ridiculous amount of points. Okay, actually, it's the 1st of February. From the 1st of January to the 1st of February, we dropped 12 points. And that's ridiculous. That's an awful lot of points. Arsenal should be miles ahead of us. miles ahead of us by now, and somehow they're only 4 points ahead of us. It's I would argue it's sort of slightly unacceptable for Arsenal. They should be strolling out ahead of us, like they should be, because this Manchester City side is it's not ready yet. But the thing is, with every single passing week and every single game that kicks on, the frailties in their confidence or their play starts to be exposed. And Arsenal are a very structured, organised, solid, aggressive side, but they are a dull side. They are not a side that you can sort of hang your hat on and hope for a moment of spectacular brilliance. And I do truly believe, I think special players win you titles and win you big trophies. And I look at Arsenal and I think, who are their special players? Mr. Set Piece. And they still could grind their way to win it. But I just don't see the mercurial ability anywhere. You know, they've got players, of course, who can do great things every now and then. But true killers to go and win him a title, it could absolutely happen. But that is a weakness of Arsenal's, absolutely. They are dull and uninspired away from set pieces. They really, truly struggle to progress the ball through the centre of the pitch, create chances. It really is just crossing and hoping for the best. And, of course, you know, every now and then they will do something. But when your top goal scorer is Gyökeres, who's £65 million striking, he scored 8 goals. That is an absolute failure. It's a failure of it's just a failure, full stop. You need more than that. You really do. I mean, City's top goal scorers in the league this season, obviously Haaland 22, Semenyo, well, he's got 13 there, but he's number 4 or 5 for other teams. Foden, Reinders, Shirky. Of course, all competitions. Let's have a look. Man City top scorers this season. But Man City do tend to have players who score goals. They do. Across all competitions. That's the thing. And not as many as previous seasons, but right now, that's Premier League. I mean, what have we got in the Champions League there? Let's have a look. I mean, why is it not just showing me all? There must be a place for all. But either way, we definitely have better goal scorers than Arsenal. You know, Marmoush or Semenyo would be their best finisher. Shirky would be their top goal scorer, I think. I think Shirky's got like 9-10 goals this season, right? All competitions, yeah. I mean, I don't know why it's showing. What's going on here? Rico Lewis is the top goal scorer. Total. Let's have a look. I don't know what's going on. Okay, not sure what's going on, why it's doing that. But either way, we do have obviously demonstrably better forward options. And look, I'm not saying it's going to be easy, but I think Manchester City, if they keep applying pressure, I do think those nerves are there. I mean, I've seen Arsenal fans try and play it down that like it isn't an issue. But I think it is an issue. And it doesn't mean they won't win the league. It doesn't mean that. But I think it's going to be hanging over them aggressively. And I think Arsenal, the issue they've got is they've got less and less joyful. They've got more and more focused on minimising risk and winning aggressively and stubbornly. But that is a nervy way to approach games in general. The thing is, when you're incredibly risk averse, which Arsenal are, that by the inherent nature is an admission of fear. Does that make sense? It just is. Teams who play free-flowing football are confident and joyful and they trust in themselves. And Arsenal's very nature is just so stubborn and so dogged and so, like, we dig in and we dig things out. And there's a lack of expression there. And I'd be surprised if Arsenal's centre-backs or goal scorers from set pieces actually trust, Madueke, Martinelli, Gyökeres, Odegaard, people like that to come up with big goals. I'd be surprised, honestly. Whereas with Manchester City, I don't think any of us was surprised if Semenyo scrapped another 10 goals or Haaland suddenly scored 10, 15 goals towards the end of the season. No one's surprised by that. If Shirky scores another 5, 6 goals or bangs one in for 20 yards or Phil Foden suddenly discovers that form again as a sort of second striker that made him so good. We have the players who can do it. I don't know. Marmoush can bag one for 30 yards out of nowhere and score a goal of the season contender. I don't know if Arsenal can do that. So that's what Aspie said. I don't think we're going to win the league. But Arsenal might lose it. And that's the thing. City might not need to be much better than they are right now. Just scraping, 2 wins out of every 3, maybe. That could just be enough if we keep winning. How many games are left in the Premier League right now? Let me just double check. The Premier League table, there's 12 games left. We might only need to win 8 of those games, genuinely. And Arsenal might 8 of those games and a couple of draws, and that would be 8, 16, 24, 26 points. That would put us on 79 points. Arsenal would have to go and get 22 points for us to go level on goal difference. And that would include 12 games, 22 points. How many that? 7 wins would be 21. Say 6. I mean, they're going to win more than that. They're going to win. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe I'm wrong there. We'll see. Look, basically, I guess the point of this video is I wanted to just chat about it because I do have a little bit of hope. I'm not overly there, but I do truly believe there's something in the idea that City get better towards the end of the season. And I think a lot of these players are starting to find confidence and belief. And what encourages me is I look around at this Manchester City side and then I look through the patterns and the rhythms and the partnerships, and it is getting better, you know? Donnarumma has been a cracking signing. He really suits this Manchester City side. I know he doesn't suit in terms of the passing at the back, but he suits where this City side is right now, which is where they need, you know, a stoic leader at the back. Núñez is getting better and better and believing himself. He absolutely is. Gay is a cracking addition alongside Ruben Diaz. They looked absolutely fantastic against Fulham the other day. Like, I think the reason we didn't go to chaos mode against Fulham was because of Diaz and Gay. I truly believe that. The defence was really solid. Nori is getting better every single week. That's a really good option there with O'Reilly as well. And O'Reilly himself looks like a brilliant addition to the midfield with loads of physicality. As Guardiola was saying, if you can't control games the way that we used to, at least fucking win your duels. And O'Reilly's good at that. Rodri's getting a little bit better here and there. I think he is improving gradually. Bernardo continues to have a bit of a renaissance. He's fantastic. You've got the game-changing ability of Doku to come back. Shirky's a marvellous player. Obviously, he's up and down a little bit still, but he's fantastic. Haaland will find his form again, I can assure you. And I think, of course, his goal he scored the other day was great. You know, 2 big goals now, back to back. And I think this Manchester City side is slowly starting to find a little bit of rhythm. You know, Kusanov is a bit of a cheat code defensively. You've got Nico Gonzalez as an actually good option for Rodri every now and then. I think this City side does have like narratives that are starting to form, and you're starting to see, I would argue, an upwards turn in confidence for a lot of players. How many Arsenal players, is there any Arsenal fans in the chat? How many Arsenal players are currently having an upwards turn of form? Like, I don't know. I just don't know if that's the case, where I think City are actually slowly but surely starting to see positives. I think next season I expect City to win the league. Next season I truly expect them to. I think Guardiola tends to get better with more time one-on-one with the players. And Gyökeres, I mean, we're scraping the barrel a bit there, aren't we, Daniel? Gyökeres maybe, but like, is he really yeah, I mean, he's all right. But I mean, does he even hold a candle to Semenyo, Marmoush, or Haaland? I don't think he does personally. I mean, he's, you know, I still think he's probably a net negative on Downton Havertz. He's nowhere near Gabriel Jesus levels, Gyökeres. Wasn't he Premier League Player of the Month in January? I mean, maybe he was, but I don't think... No, Igor Thiago wasn't he? Was that... Yeah, Thiago wasn't he? Maybe he was, I don't know, but I don't think he... Has anyone been blown away by Gyökeres? A couple of crappy goals doesn't change that. I would say scrappy, but I said crappy, which is... Yeah, there we go. I mean, Semenyo is twice the player of Gyökeres, in my opinion. I think he is. I mean, not twice the player, but you know what I'm saying. But I just guess wanted to do a little video and chat about it because I'm in a reasonably positive place about this City side, and I do actually, you know, a few times on these videos I've gone, oh, surely we haven't got the mentality, and Arsenal, you know, Arsenal are probably stairs to lose now, and I think we accept that they're going to win and stuff like that. I've been a bit negative about it, but I'm actually coming around to the idea that maybe, actually just maybe, we're in a better position than we realise, because Arsenal, I don't know if they've got the fucking balls. I don't know if they do. They might do, but I don't think it's a guarantee. We'll see. Arsenal fans watching this isn't bait. It's just genuinely discussion, because the same patterns keep happening. And look, Brentford away was a difficult game for them. Absolutely. It hugely was. But you got to win those games, man. You got to win those games. They were lucky. I understand dropping points as well, by the way, when you have loads of chances you can't score, but they're predictable, they're solid, but they lack a lot. They lack a lot of I don't know. They lack a little bit of just magic, and I'm not sure we had, you know, We have magic from players like Doku could just randomly beat 2 or 3 people and put it on the play for Haaland. Shirky could put it in the top corner for Semenyo, could cut his side and wallop it on either foot and score. Marmoush can do the same, you know. Rodri, we know he absolutely can. Foden, we know he can. Reinders is a more reliable goal scorer than pretty much the entire Arsenal side. Has Reinders scored more than Arsenal this player this year? Reinders at Man City has scored. I mean, he's got 5 in the Premier League. He'd be their second top scorer, Arsenal. Reinders has already scored 7 goals for Man City, and he's been a backup player. I think Gyökeres is Arsenal's top scorer with 8. I mean, fucking Reinders is a bench player for us, and he's got nearly as many goals as their £65 million striker. I don't know. Goals win games, man. And I fancy our chances. We'll see. Guys, just a quick video. I'll do a preview later for the Salford game. I am on City's show tomorrow, which I'm very looking forward to. I can't wait. I think I'm alongside the EDS manager, which will be awesome. Mikel and Ben Wilkinson. I'm very looking forward to it. Hopefully the weather's a bit better than it is today because it's been minging. Thanks for watching. Let me know your opinions. And hope you enjoyed this Beatty video. It wasn't that Beatty. It was just a genuine discussion. Bye-bye, guys.